better. Okay. Okay, I'm just pulling this here for a second so that I can get over to YouTube without leaning way, way forward. I'm sorry. I know that's incredibly lazy, but I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit tired today. I hope you guys had a lovely Fri-Yay, that you're looking forward to the weekend, that you have fun things or busy things or, things. Whether you're going to chillax or you're going to run errands, I hope that you're going to have a fantastic weekend. Okay, come on. Live here, live chat there. Okay. Hey, Jan, how are you? Welcome, welcome. All right. Now let's figure out where all our stuff went. How is your Fri-Yay? Hey, Candy, how you doing? I recycled the event from Thursday. It took me a minute. That's okay. We try not to confuse everybody, but sometimes that is just how it rolls. You're holding your own. Yay! Carla's not here yet. That message is from yesterday. Carla may be napping right now. It's been a long week, I think. Yeah. So I am sorry to report that everybody overguessed on the rollatini. If you watch today's video, yes, she does. She works hard, and she's got, neck things and other things going on. All the rest that woman can get is a good thing. So if she's napping, I wish her the very best, longest nap she can have. So I'm looking around here for a second. I am looking for something in particular that I have misplaced. Isn't that always the way with me? Anyway, we're going to briefly go over what you need to make the envelope journal. If for people with the Brew Crew who purchased the Brew Crew brat, blah, 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 you will already have your supplies outside of cardstock and stuff to decorate with. But the basic construction supplies for the journal, the waterfall, the envelope component here, and the extra journal that goes in the pocket here, you should have all of those fun components. But in case somebody wants to play along, you don't need that many supplies. And we'll go over, we're going to actually make it on Sunday. So we're going to go over things you can do if you want to get ahead. You had a tiny minuscule nap. How you doing, Miss Christine? I know, right? I wasn't sure how long it was going to be, honestly. I knew it was probably going to be around 50 feet. Just based on, yes.
In case you become thirsty during your live.
Thanks. I leave them all over the place.
Mostly outside.
Usually.
There you go.
I get up and walk away, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, you doing okay? Good, good. Leslie's working and lurking. That's usually the case. We get it. You got it. You got work to do. So, but we're gonna do the build on Sunday. But we will talk about if you have not or did not purchase a Buku box, but you want to make the envelope journal, it's out of one big envelope. The envelope can be any size you want. We just chose this one. Unless you have big paper like 11 by 17, this will have to be down a little bit. Let me grab the paper to show. Uh-oh, something happened. No, that's not okay. Well, as long as it doesn't make any noise. No, stop. Okay. All right. I don't know how that happened. All right, Janice. So this one is jelly printed. I did it on the last jelly printing day. And then I have a blank one to show you. I think it's in here. So we just picked a big envelope. And I'm kind of scrounging around for my ruler. I didn't realize how late it was. So I'm being a pantster as usual. So the envelope that we're working on is, so that's 12 inches. It's about 13 inches. Just folded in half, but the fold was made where you can see where the envelope has this down. You know, it tapers down this way into a V. The fold for the envelope, for it to work right this way, needs to be at the bottom of this V. So don't fold it all the way up to here where the envelope flappy part is. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble getting the journal closed after you fill it with all the things. So, and we're going to show a couple of different variations, but let me grab some 8.5 by 11 paper just so that you can kind of see. And I've got a pad up here that's got some in it. I don't think this has any 11 by 17 paper. Okay. This is cardstock. More cardstock. Oh, there's some 11 by 7. But I don't have it 8.5 by 11. Well, we'll just use this piece of cardstock so you can see. Okay, hold on. So the journal that's the flippy flappy part here is made out of 8.5 by 11 paper, as is the waterfall here. And it takes a total of 24 sheets to make the journal. I went with tea-dyed just for uniformity in this journal because I had not chosen my cardstock ahead of time. Now, if you're choosing your cardstock ahead of time, you can choose colored paper if you want, depending on whether you want this to be like a glue booky themed sort of thing or if you want to write in it. So you can see with this envelope, an 8.5 by 11 sheet is short. So here you can see where I cut it down to a little bit, to the 8.5, to the, I can do this, to the 8.5 size when the paper's folded over. So I just cut that much of because you're not going to have much overhang where the envelope is concerned. So if you have an envelope that is big like this, or you purchase the kit, to use a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, you will need to trim this down and then glue it closed really good. Because I forgot to do that, and that's, an important thing. Now, if you have 11 by 17 paper, then you can leave the envelope the size that it is and just trim the paper down to fit the size of the envelope. Obviously, you would have to trim both ways, but if you wanted to use the full size of the envelope, which is 13 by, use the right side of the ruler, Amy. 13 by 10. So, and you can still use cardstock to cover it or digital prints or anything like that. Digis, you're probably not going to get them that big. So if you're going to keep it big, you're probably going to have to use cardstock. Hey, Rebecca. Aw, you have a good weekend too, hon, and get good rest. 5 by 11. Nice. Well, see, you can make this out of any size. It does not have to be this size envelope. If you're interested in working this project along with us, you can choose any size envelope. You just cut your paper to size. With the amount of papers we use, should be good for any size envelope because you're going to trim it down. Obviously, it's going to be sized to the envelope. So if you have a 5 by 7 or you have a 10 by 13 or you've got a 9 by 12 or anywhere in between all of that, you know, a 6 by 9, a 5 by 7, whatever it is. You can just even use, if you want to make a super small one, you could use an envelope like this, and then you'd have, you know, let's see, what is this envelope? This big envelope here is, it's 8 3/4 by, looks like about 5 3/4. Now the 3/4 is going to throw you for a loop on the measurements. But you just fold it in half and move on with life. Because it would have this at the top though, I probably would just tuck that in then. And then you could have a tuck on both sides once it's folded in half. So, but yeah, it doesn't have to be a side close envelope. It can be a top close envelope. You could stick two together so that you have just this size, which is roughly the size of a piece of paper. So you wouldn't even necessarily need to trim it if you don't mind a little extra space at the bottom. Because of the way everything is hinged in, like this one, it doesn't matter so much. You can put it in the middle. But the waterfall you'll want right at the top. So there's a lot of options. If you didn't buy the Brew Crew kit, you can still make this if you would like to. Welcome back, Janice. So yeah, lots of choices here. 5 by 11, that could be at a fun size. So if you bought paper from me in the past and you have big size, or you have big size of your own, or you have, you know, just big magazine, you can make it out of anything you want depending on what you're using it for. Now, obviously, the original that I got this from, and I'll have the video link for the original idea, the channel where I actually got this idea. It was meant to be a writing journal. Even the waterfall portion, which I've normally seen this as you put in photographs or images or something. But even this was meant to be written in, which is fun. So minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 4 pages. This is, oh, so it's not 24, it's 14 pages. There's 5 8.5 by 11 sheets here. 5 8.5 by 11 sheets here for the signature in this one. And 4 folded over here for this. So this piece right here is the whole sheet right here. And then this sheet right here goes with the second sheet. So this is all one piece just folded over to create the waterfall. Now you could make this out of more. These are about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch from each other. And I deliberately didn't go to the bottom because we put a pocket there. You could go all the way to the bottom if you want. You could also do the pocket on the side if you wanted to. Instead of having a pocket going this way, you could make a slim one here and tuck something in. You could put these as close as 1/8 of an inch together. You would obviously need more pieces of paper, but you know, you could pack this much more heavily than it is. But for the purposes, if you're going to follow along and build this the same way that I am, for the demonstration, which will be just like this, but with different papers, obviously. I am going to look through my paper pads tomorrow and find something I like so that I can coordinate my paper with that. Not that I don't like coffee and tea dye paper, because I do. And I also kind of went with the coffee and tea dye paper because I used this Tim Holtz fabric. And everybody who got a Boo Crew, well, most everybody who bought a Boo Crew bag this time out got a Tim Holtz piece, but everybody got to choose their fabric. I have a few incantations right now. Nice! Love it. I don't have everything I need to finish decorating it, but we're going to get a good start with it, I think. We'll probably only do the basic construction and start getting it covered on Sunday, and then we'll carry it over to the following Sunday. So we'll just miss a couple of jelly plate sessions, which is not the end of the world. And then we'll get back to it when we're done with this kit. Woohoo! Yay, Leslie. So I think it'll be fun. This is the theme for the box was Love Gone Wrong, because this came out in the first quarter, and we are just, as ever, running behind. That is kind of my mojo and my jam. But you could really make this into any theme, any paper you like. If you're cutting it down or using a smaller envelope, you can certainly use a digikit that any digikit that you love can be used for this. Absolutely. So you can see that we used, I used one of the Michael's Hot Buy pads in the magical kind of theme. And since the theme was Love Gone Wrong, I'm carrying forward with the serial killer thing. I am magically murdering people in this book. We're going to do some stuff about poisons and some stuff about, herbology and some palmistry stuff. And so that's what we're going to do in here when after we have the build, when we start with the decorating parts. So, but whether you've got the Boo Crew box or not, I always want to include everybody. If you've got your own stuff, your own papers you want to use, you are more than welcome to play along and join us for the... So what you'll need is an envelope. I probably wouldn't recommend any bigger than this unless you have really big paper. It's a pita to glue the envelope back together. I thought, well, it was for me because I started making the book and I forgot to seal the part I cut, which was a dumbass move. But I'm going to try and build one tomorrow with the big paper so you can see with the big paper in it. And then we're going to build one that's cut down. So I will have it glued already on Sunday and we'll be ready to go. For the front and back here, you need 2 pieces. 1 piece of cardstock is just not going to be enough. For all the binding here, you need about, I think, a half yard of fabric of any kind. You can use, if you bought the Boo Crew box, you can use your Tim Holtz fabric. You can use plain muslin undyed. You could use dyed muslin. Any fabric you like that coordinates with your chosen cardstock. If you don't like the idea of cardstock, the original was made with washi tape, but you need a wide washi tape, at least 1.25 inches. And you need 2 rolls of it, or 2 coordinating rolls. One you might use on the outside and one you might use on the inside perhaps, because you're hinging all of this in. Now I will tell you, using the fabric, it's going to be very stiff at first, but the more that you turn the pages and everything, the less, what do I want to say? The less stiff it is. It really starts to loosen up. I did not, technically speaking, need to put fabric on this part because this is just a piece of cardstock folded over. But because it's all in the same theme, I wanted to use the same fabric. So you'll need 2 full pieces for the outside, and then you can use the scraps to cover the inside and outside of this flappy part. You'll need 2 pieces for the inside for this portion here, and the portion that goes under here. Effectively, what this is doing is if you use washi tape, you'll know sometimes it will peel up even after you glue it down if you're using something a lot. However, once you've hinged it in, you're going to glue the cardstock right over all the places, front and back, because the hinge is right here, right under there. So you're securing all of those flaps down except for this piece over the spine, which you technically don't need. But I didn't like my stitching very much, so I covered it up. Again, you can use any fabric you want that coordinates with your, or washi tape, should you like to go that route. You're going to need a liquid glue. You might like to have a glue stick on hand. And then if you want to make pockets of any kind, you could use cut-aparts from your pad that you're doing if it has it, or choose a third piece of coordinating cardstock. Now I used the cut-aparts for this pocket here, which I probably should have hinged that, and I probably will hinge it when I make the next book, because it's awfully tight. I haven't gotten around to decorating my envelopes, so obviously if you're going to do your envelopes, this could easily be done with digikits. If you find a coordinating digikit to your cardstock, it can be done with cardstock. The whole thing could be done with digikits, unless you choose to use the envelope full size. You're not going to find a digikit that prints 10 by 6.5. It's unlikely that you'll have that. So, but if you cut it down or you use smaller envelopes, no worries there. And then, now the lady that made this did not put a cover on this. She just made the journal like this, loosey-goosey, and it was nice. No, I just wanted to put a cover on mine. So if you want to put a cover on the little bookie that goes with it, the little extra signature thing, you'll need another piece of cardstock. So 1, 2, 3, so 2 coordinating pieces. You know what I'm thinking? How wide is this? 5.5. So 1 for the inside, 2 for the outside. So that's 3. Scraps can be used here. 4. And then you'll need a 5th piece if you want to do your envelopes and stuff. There's where you're going to get into leeway. And then for pockets, I used something that I dyed for a pocket here. I used a pull apart here. And on the back of this book, I also used one of those cut apart things. So minimum to start, just to build the book, you need 5 pieces if you want to do a hardcover on your. The envelope I used is 10 by 13. But I cut it down. Here's let me fold this one back out and move some of this other stuff off here. I'm sorry. Okay, so this will be easier to show. So I built this out of this size envelope, exactly like this, undyed. I was just a white envelope, and I trimmed it. I took a paper cutter and went zing. But the mistake I made was here, and you can see it at the spine here, right here. I did not glue that shut before I started building the book, which was a dumbass move. But, so if you have, let me measure what this is. If you have an envelope that you already have, that is, this is 8 3/4. So if you have like a 9 by, I think this is a little over 6 1/4. So if you have like a 9 by, I don't know, what size, 9 by 11, it will come out a little skinnier than this. But so this is a 10 by 13. However, we determined if you have a really big envelope like this, you could put 2 of them together to make roughly a piece. I've already, see, if you had 2 of those, you could fit them together, and you still be able to fit a regular size sheet of paper in there. So essentially and you could use smaller envelopes if you want to make it smaller. You just cut your paper to fit whatever size. So if you've got a 6x9 and that's what you've got, work with it. Yeah, 10 by 13, 9 by 12. And then I think the next size up from 10 by 13 is like 15 by 19 or something like that. There's a bigger size than that, but you'd be hard pressed to find paper to fit that, I think. So I will come prepared on Sunday with one made with the big paper. If I can figure out what I did with it. Where I just cut the paper down to the size of the book so you can see the difference. And I'll have it around the same doneness that this one is. So you can see one done with colored paper. If you're going to use it as a writing journal when you're all done, because you can journal on cards and stick them in the envelopes. You could add keepsakes and other stuff in here. There's a lot of things you can use it for. But that way you can see the difference done up if you were to use bigger paper versus regular 11 by 17 or 8.5 by 11. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're welcome, Rebecca. And if you don't want to use the Tim Holtz fabric that came with your Buku box, you've got other plans for that, just pick a different piece of fabric or some washi tape. No problem, no worries. You're not required to use anything in the... And your Velcro pieces, for anybody who has not opened their Buku box, should be in one of the envelopes that came with your kit. I just slid it down inside one of the envelopes that came with the kit so that it wasn't like just floating around in there. So you didn't take out the whole thing, drop those on the floor because they're see-through and go, where'd they go? Because that's what I would do. So do you guys have kind of an idea of what you need to bring to the table? You need a minimum of 14 pieces of paper, 5 or 6 pieces of cardstock. 2 of them need to be coordinating for the front and back, depending on what you want to do. If you're using something that's regular paper sized, you can use DigiKits to decorate. It will not be as thick unless you print it on cardstock, but it doesn't have to be stiff. You know, I like a flexible journal, so it would be fine. The paper's still going to hold down your, you know, because you're going to glue right up to the edges. It's still going to hold down all of your, where you hinge things in. And so 14 pieces of paper minimum, 5 sheets of cardstock, probably a quarter to a half on the fabric, or 2 rolls of washi tape the same, or coordinating. You want them to be coordinating because you're going to be able to see some of what you hinge. Like here, you can see a little bit of it on the other side. Obviously here, maybe you want to use one for this part and a different one for this part because that's the outside of the book versus the inside of the book. So just know that you need 2 rolls of pretty wide washi tape to make this work. And I think that's, you want to make pockets out of things that aren't, you know, this pocket was not in the original journal. I don't think I added that one myself. And then, but this pocket back under the waterfall pages was in the original book. This pocket here, which based on how tight this is, I would definitely hinge that. And I will hinge mine going forward. I would say 1/2 to about 2 inches. Yeah. Let me roll this spine out. Let me see about what. Yeah, I've got about 1.5 inches here. But this piece here where I wanted to reinforce this is a little over 2 inches. So, however you want to go. I wouldn't go any wider than 2 inches because then you're really cutting into. And you don't have to do this on a spine. I just like to reinforce my spines, honestly. And like I said, I didn't like my sewing on there. No, I didn't sew anything with fabric. I just wanted to cover it, honestly. I just feel like it's more secure because if you're using this, you're going to bend that a lot. And then you'll have pieces here and here and here and here. And obviously you'll have the, so yeah, we cut this all to fit inside of here in the little flippy pocket. So, any questions? Anybody, questions, suggestions? And I still have pieces to work with here. See, there's the second piece of cardstock that I didn't need. All my cutoffs and a few more of the cut aparts from the paper that I used. I know envelope journals have been done to death, but I hadn't done one and it just seemed like a fun thing to do, you know? But I didn't go to the restroom before, so if you have any questions, type them in. I'll answer them when we get back. And then I thought, since we're not going to start building tonight, I'm worried I'm going to glue myself to 86 sheets of paper. I'm a little punch drunk. I did not get good sleep last night, but I did get a lot of work done. I thought I have cut apart into 18-inch pieces the collage roll. And I thought we would fold it and trim it and get it all done up because it's got this rolled feel to it. I thought then I would take it out and put it in the press that Mike made me. So I thought we might do that, and then we can see it all cut up into smaller pieces, what we think of it. So just give me a second to run out to the restroom. I'll be right back. And then we will rollatini some stuff. I have returned. Okay. So if you think of any questions while we're working tonight, feel free to ask. I have a closet full of rollatini pages, guys. Oh, I also wanted to point out, now I bought this to make Christmas cards off Elle's, like my first year here. And I obviously didn't get around to it. But if you wanted, I could see how this journal could be turned into a Christmassy type thing. With the waterfall. You might change over to cardstock if you wanted to, but it would be a nice way to keep some memories, you know. You could write out, you know, or even Thanksgiving or whatever, you know. It could make a holiday time journal easily. So there is that. I pulled this out just so you could see. I think it would be fun to, there's a lot of things you could do with it, man. Okay, so what did I do with the page I already folded up? I had one that I already folded, and I thought, where did I think was a good idea to put it? So we're going to start out just by folding them for now. I have a closet full of little rolled up scrolls. Unfortunately, with the rollatini guess, everybody guessed way, way over. So nobody won because it was closest without going over. And the lowest guess in feet I got was 90 feet. So I thought we would just fold these, not terribly. But now you can see how the pages are working out. Now, obviously, we're going to trim some of these down because this is too tall. This is more than 12 inches. And because this is like 12 and a half. So, and the edges are not quite straight. But I thought it would be fun to just look at how they turned out. Now, this one is exceptionally short. It was impressive all rolled out. I was sad the first part of the footage because we had it all rolled out. And there's our 70s, 60s, and 70s looking girls. See, just weird stuff. That's just the luck of the roll. And sometimes we're just going to go with where the natural fold wants to be. Because some of the paper is heavier. And that's where the trimming will come in, you know. But the only way we can fit it on the paper cutter is to fold it down, man. Hi, Sandy. We ran her ragged that day. So there's that one. We got a little vampire family over here. That's the back side. Sandy's in the other room watching the TV. I was up until 11:30 this morning from yesterday. But I got a bunch of stuff done. My sale is going to run. So video sale Monday through Thursday. And then I'm having a tiny live sale component. I need a glue stick, hold the phone. On Friday. Where I have. So you guys are getting a little nod in the. I'm going to have some loose pieces. Some doilies, some coffee filters, some trying to think what else is in there. Envelopes for as low as 10 cents a piece. It's just random bits that don't really fit in a pack. So on Friday, and this is largely a D-stash as well. I am still where I got to make the purple part of the paper. That's the point I'm at, which is why I'm working on the sale stuff. I think I have you on a list, Candy, to set one aside for you when it's finished. And lovely Miss Rebecca's getting one all to herself for free. I've got a little pack made for her. I just got to put in the last component. Now we did have, obviously you saw in the video where it was trying to take off like a kite. So we did have some damages. So we'll be doing some repair work as we go as well. But yes, I think you're on the list for a piece or a pack, a little pack of that. I think you requested a 10 pack. So there's the front side of that one with the, hold on. We've got some. Let's part of this process is gluing down anything we missed in the first place and then repairing some of the wind damage. It was fun though, despite the fact that it kind of came undone and it was windy. It was not windy when okay, so I got up and Elle said, today's the day. And I'm like, today's the day for what? And she's like, we're going to get the pictures of the collage roll, you know? And I was like, all right, cool. And there was no wind when we were getting ready to leave. Zippo, 0 wind. We tootled out. We put the rollatini in the car. Sandy was there. I was there. Els was there. We were all in the car. And Els goes to turn the car over. What did I do with the scissors? And it made just a clicking noise. And Els, being knowledgeable about cars, but that's the battery. And we did not take Mike's car. Els rolled her car down the, I think we need a little more glue stick right there. Down the driveway halfway, whipped out some jumper cables, and jumped the car. Mike came out and helped a little bit, and he was supposed to be working, so he was not totally happy about that. But, you know, he's Mr. Mike, and he does all the taking care of things. That's his jam. And that was our start to our day. So we had to go from there to the Wally World. I have the lime green made. I just got to get the purple on it, ladies. I know I'm doing shitty. So here's this piece. I am finding these super fun. I don't know about you guys, but I am very much enjoying this process. And look, there's some cheesecake chocolate swirly brownie things. And then I thought once these are all rolled out and trimmed or folded like this, I'll put them in the press outside for a few days. And that'll take the roll out of the rollatini. See, here we've got a flat out tear. But, you know, these things happen. And a lot of this was made out of, you know, really thin magazine paper, which I think is going to be super fun. This one's not going to be the accordion book. I think I want to try Carla's accordion idea out on the one that's backed, because it will be a little thicker. So I need something. So I've got a few scraps of just some scrapbooking paper, like paperweight paper. So we'll glue a couple of those down. Raggedy edges aren't going to match because this one's obviously a tall piece, and we're gonna. I probably want liquid glue for this piece, and we're gonna be trimming the tall pieces down some. So we'll see how many pages we're going to get. I don't know what I'm doing over here. Let me grab another piece. Oh, here's a fun orange piece. Orangey. I like orange. We need a little bit more. There's still a little bit of a rip right here. Okay. So what are you ladies doing this evening? Anybody crafting along? We know Leslie's working and lurking. I hope some of you will be able to play along on Sunday. Okay, so we're just going to put that right there. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. Hold the phone. The cord has come off my laptop. Hold, please, or I'm going to be gone because the battery's dead. Okay. We should be okay. I didn't realize it had come unplugged. When I bought this, I really disliked the fact that the power cord that plugs into the computer doesn't make that little snap-in noise that some of them do. But, you know, they change the power cords all the time on these. So they're not interchangeable, even if you buy from the... And I have always bought from Dell. Because I'm used to them. And, but from computer to computer, none of the power cords are interchangeable. Yeah, see, there's another one right there. We've got another little piece over here. And we'll just keep that hard edge right there, and we'll just glue that down. And that will become part of the rollatini. We knew we were going to have some damages. I think there was no way around that. The fact that it flew away somewhat. So yeah, so we went over to Wally World and got the battery. I was a 2.5 hour wait to have them put it in, and Els wasn't having none of them shenanigans. And her mechanic guy that she actually likes was not working that day. This would have been, what day was it? Tuesday or Wednesday? Whichever day. I did not have my live on, so it was Thursday. Yes? Anyway. Whatever day I didn't have my live. We went over to the park. And by this time, the wind had started to pick up. Because, you know, every afternoon in the desert pretty much is windy. Oh, you see this piece is coming off right here. It was a little overlap piece, and I'm not going to cry about it. That, you know, because that's where the paper got cut. So there's this page. We need to glue that down for sure. This is where we're learning all the things. Okay. And there's the back side. I do need to push this down a little bit, though. I need a second thing that's heavy. I get another pair of scissors over here or something. Yep. Second pair of scissors to hold that tile down. So we went over to the park, and it's a disc golf park. They do have a playground and other stuff, but part of the park is a disc golf thing. So there's that one. Got all kinds of fun stuff going on there. And there's the back side. I have to tell you, if we could figure out a way to keep it on the even a little better, I do like having the front and the back. Because with the back, we didn't really have a plan for it. It just came out the way it came out. Okay. I think that's everything. However, we do have a little hole right there that didn't get filled. So there we are at the park. On the back side of the park, where there's a long flat strip at the back, and where people don't normally walk their dogs. Most people walk their dogs toward the front of the park. And that way, we weren't going to roll it in any dog poop or anything. Awkward. And the more we're getting ready to do this, you know, we're getting out of the car, we're taking all our stuff over there. Trying to get the camera set up for filming. Frisbee golfers are playing through because I didn't realize on a Thursday 900 people were going to be playing frisbee golf. Disc golf. I got corrected by some little... He was a nice man, but he was very mansplaining. There's a white guy. So the guys that helped us when we... At the end, the battery wouldn't start again. You know, it hadn't been running long enough probably. So it was a group of like 2 white guys and 4 black guys, or, you know, maybe an even mix. I don't know. There was the one guy that owned the truck. It was a Hemi, and he went all the way from the back of the park. His truck was parked all the way up front. He went all the way up there, and he drove his truck around to jump us, while his little white blonde guy with a beanie cap, all scraggly beard, you know, one of those guys with the kind of almost dreadlocky hair with the beanie cap on. He was just like a mansplaining away about jumping, you know, how the jumper cables work and about the disc golf. And we were nice to him because they were being extra helpful. They did not have to stop their frisbee golf game to help out the 3 stupid fat ladies. Gals knows enough. And we have AAA, so, you know, the worst we had to do was wait for AAA to come jump us. But they were very nice young men. The little black guy that went and got his big ass truck. And it was a new white, gorgeous 350. We were like, thank you so much for, you know, all of it, you know, for interrupting your golf game or for getting your truck and, you know, all of that. And he was just like, no worries, you know. That's a man well raised. He didn't even think twice about it. And he wasn't condescending at all. And I don't think the guy was trying to be like a mansplainer. I think he just saw 3 helpless grandmas and went into man mode, you know. But it was very nice of them. Super, super sweet. So, and we'll see how many pages we actually got out of this, ladies. Here's a new page. Luckily, we won't have to repair every one. I would say there's a fair amount of pages that will need some repair, but not every single page. And a few pages where, you know, we find things that just didn't get glued down in the first place. Kind of like that side, even though it's mostly words. My car has to be comfortable for clients in my real estate business. Just all kinds of fun stuff. I have enjoyed very much building this out of leftovers. Okay, so just running my fingers over everything. This side seems good. Let's roll over to the back side. It seems good as well. Monkeys! Kissing monkeys. Smoochy face monkeys. Okay. This one's going to need repair right here and a little bit of glue in. then we need, and I'm just going to keep repairing with this pieces of paper I've got right here until we run out. So we're going to go like that, I think, and then we'll cut off the extra bit at the top. Janice, were you doing the rollatini on the adding tape? How's that going? I know you were doing it with security envelopes, I think. Should be interesting to see making some little glue books or something out of this. It's already kind of collaged up, but you know, it's thin, so you can definitely bulk it up. You can work with what's on there. You can cover it up. And you got a little bit of everything, you know? There's some Christmas. There's some fun, kitschy, cute Halloween stuff. I think there's a couple of creepy elements in here. This piece, very white. We could definitely spray the side if we wanted to. That's not the moment going anywhere. Yes, junk mail security envelopes. Okay. No worries. I was just curious. There's our funky giraffe. He's getting down. Get down. Get down. There's some more of our brownies. Pumpkin cheesecake. Pumpkin spice cheesecake brownie bars. That's what it was. There's the other side. Looks like everything is pretty glued down. Just double check this side. Okay. Love the funky giraffe. Hopefully we don't have to cut any of him off. Or if we do, it's just a little bit. Okay. And I just shoved them in here all willy-nilly, so it's not like it's in the... At the end there, we were in 4 pieces with the rollatini. On camera, Sandy looked really small by the time we rolled it all out. I loved your guys' super generous estimates. It would have been fun to make one that was like 100 feet long, right? It's pumpkin and cheesecake. I would not call it brownie anything. Well, you know, they're always trying to... It's also got chocolate in it. I think that's why they're calling it a brownie thing. Now, I am a pumpkin spice lover. I'm not going to lie to you. I am a basic white bitch when it comes to that. Although I don't do really Starbucks anymore. One, it's expensive. And two, all that stuff comes from a pump. It's not like a spice mix or anything like that. It's just high fructose corn syrup. And, you know, that is not good for you. See, there's the Christmas blizzard right there. And then a big scary mouth right next to that. Ah! I think this one, no, we got a little bit right there. So, you never know what you're going to find. Hold on, I got glue boogers stuck to the side of this. Let's get rid of the glue boogers. Can't have a glue session of any kind without glue boogers. What did Rosemary do this week? I missed her lives. Although I don't think she was on the 20th. I think I saw something posted in Facebook about the power was out, which sucks. They seem to get that pretty often in the winter and the spring, which would be normal for any place, you know, that gets a lot of snow and wind. Let's see about this side now. A little bit right there. I just threw some scissors on the floor. That was exciting. Okay. Evil four-letter word. Carla! Stephen King blizzard with a monster. Oh boy. There's Carla, you're still getting pummeled up there? Good Lord. So like I said, everybody overguessed on the footage for the, which, you know, thank you for having that much faith in me that I could glue hundreds of feet of stuff together. I was impressed with the 67 feet, you know. However, we'll have to find a way to, I think I'll take everybody who answered, and on Sunday we'll just do a drawing for the same prize. I want somebody to win, you know. This was a whole group thing. You guys came along on this journey with me. We had a lot of fun. I don't do very many giveaways, you know. So I'd like somebody to be able to take home a prize for our completion of this super fun collage roll. So I'll just take everybody who guessed, and we'll draw on Sunday. I think that sounds good. I'll get that folded under though. Folded under. Oh, there's a little piece right there. The stiffer things usually have a corner that's not glued down. Further north, still winter. Yeah. You can have snow all the way up until, you know, May and early June some years in some northern states. That's kind of why I've never really wanted to live up north. Beautiful, beautiful country. Snow. And say what you will about me, but snow lover is not one of the epitaphs you could say about me. Everybody overshot the size, but closest guess was 90 feet. No worries. This just gives us, you know, hashtag collage roll goals, you know. That gives us some inspiration to really pack it on. Because the next one will be the one I'll try the accordion thing with. Because it's backed, it's a little more sturdy. Or theoretically, it's a little more sturdy. Let's put it that way. This one was, I cut it into 18-inch pieces, which is a little bit bigger than I wanted, but I knew I was going to have to cut off edges all the way around, except for along the fold, because it had wavered so much in height and all the way. Mother Nature is telling everyone to watch their... I'm sure she is. I sold gold. Yes. Go Irving. Hey, whatever you saw, you saw. It's just spitting snow. It's coming down again like a fine drizzle. Ugh. Yeah. The one we're working on right now, the one backed on the painter's paper, because it'll have a specific size. You know, it's not going to get any bigger than the paper we're building it on. Tall wise, I think it'll make a fine. And when we roll that one out, it will definitely be a still day. And we'll have to go to a park that does not have a Frisbee golf course. Disc golf. Because people wanted to play through when we were out there dicking around on the back nine or whatever they've got going on back there. We just picked the spot because it seemed like, you know, the least amount of people would be back there. And we don't see many dog walkers back there. Usually people pull up to the front of the park and walk around for a little while. And then they tootle off again. This does not want to fold right there. So you're going. We're going to trim that itty bitty piece off right there. There we go. Woohoo! Got some edges over here that need to be glued down. It's a stoner spot. Yeah, that one guy. Sadly, we held those guys up. We should have got a picture of them. They were the nicest guys. But we held them up and another group caught up to them. And that was a group full of white guys that were being dicks. I think the black guys wound up letting them play through. Just because they were totally chill. They were just out there to have fun. Not get all worked up about how long it was taking to help us out. I could not get into Frisbee golf in any way. One, my shoulder wouldn't let me. Yeah, the guy was saying because they're weighted. And basically, it's like buying a set of golf clubs, only the discs for that. That if you hit somebody wrong, you could cause a serious injury. So they do have to be careful in the park and stuff. You know, they don't want to take out little kids. Or maybe they do, but, you know, they don't want to go to jail. But it's becoming more and more popular. I remember seeing it in Ohio when we lived there, but I hadn't seen it anywhere like in the desert until I moved here. But I also was not seeking it out, so. Okay, I think we're good there. Oh, we got a little bit of a security envelope. I did not use many security envelopes. I know I have a stash. That's from Gilligan's Island. That's, yeah. Fun stuff. I would not. Even if there wasn't anything wrong with my shoulder, I don't think I would get into frisbee golf. I'm not really a sports person. Now, I used to like to bowl. But that's another thing I can't really do. Because of my shoulder. But, I put some stuff here upside down. That's okay. It's a glue book, you know. It's going to be glue booky. Just make sure everything is computery. There's our big frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Squash. Squash. I've never had any interest in horseshoes either. Do you just pass an age and all of a sudden you've got a horseshoe in your hand and you're a basketball star investing money in old man's tennis? Oh my God, seriously? There's big money professional cornhole? Look, if you like something, I'm sure there is a way to make money at it, no matter what it is. People who play Magic the Gathering can get in tournaments and stuff. This is a small piece, like a leftover piece. It wasn't the full 18 inches. So we're going to fold it in half anyway and see, you know. Well, I want to use everything that we made, regardless. Because I think it'll be fun. But we had some shorty pieces, you know, at the end of the various, because it was in 4 parts by the time we were done filming that. Now, I glued this one back together yesterday, but there's still a little, since we're trimming this, I'll wait to fix that part. Uh-oh. Leslie. Okay, Leslie, be safe. And safe travels, hon. I hope the rest of your weekend is travel-free and fun. You grew up with horseshoe pits in my backyard. At your grandma's house. Well, it's not like, it's a very social game, you know? And I think cornhole, not professional cornhole probably, it's kind of the same. You go out, you talk, maybe you're barbecuing while it's happening. People are having a few drinks or whatever. I personally have never played, but it's a way to stay active even as you get older, you know, and because it's more about, it's not all about physical prowess, I don't think. Although those are kind of hefty. That's fun. Okay, this one looks to be glued down pretty good. Pair of scissors. This piece was close into the bottom of the roll. I played darts. I'm not very good at it, but I did like it. I would never go play in a bar because I really don't have any skill. But if it was just in somebody's backyard, I would. Unless those people were super competitive because, you know, I suck. I didn't hate it, though. I didn't mind playing. I'm a board game kind of person. I love board games. I love Scrabble, even though I'm not very good at it because, you know, I'm a bad speller. But I do enjoy the game. Let's see. But badminton's kind of a backyard game too. I haven't played that in forever. Since Ohio. I miss just going out and going hiking for an afternoon and barbecuing out at the state park and stuff. We used to love to do that kind of stuff. Okay, this one needs a fixer-upper right here. So let's grab some scrap paper. That's a little... I'm looking for something paperweight. And we're just going to put that right there, and then we'll cut that extra over off. Okay. It's electronic. Yes, I love the electronic dartboard because, you know, I don't have to think about it. And it's hard to cheat at darts, you know. My ex was a cheater. We used to play triominoes together. I'm not very good at dominoes, but the triominoes was fun, you know. And that it's harder to cheat at that. I loved playing Magic the Gathering, the card game, but I didn't know all the rules, and I found out playing with somebody else that she'd been cheating the whole time we'd been playing. Who cheats with their own wife at a game that's just for fun, you know? So he kind of ruined that for me. I don't like poor winners and poor losers. You know, it's a game. It's meant to be fun. I understand being competitive, but ultimately, the point of most of that, unless you're playing competitively at something, it's just not fun. Not to win at all costs, you know? I'm going to put a little fixie piece down here as well. We'll use this piece right here because it's got a little edge on it. Again, trying to keep it to paperweight paper so we don't, you know, we do have some thickness discrepancies, and that's not the end of the world. Bound to happen in a project this big. Okay. Pumpkin Town. Woo! Okay. I don't play games with Hubster. He's too competitive and not a good loser. Yeah. Hey, Nina, how you doing? My ex, he loved to go bowling and play darts, but I couldn't let him go to the bar after a while because he would come home crawling. And that's not, you know, we were in our 30s then. I'm like, we can't stay together if you're going to keep going to the bar like this. No, you're not. You're right here. Welcome, welcome. Always great to see you, Miss Nina. How's your Fri-Yay? Hope you're having a good Fri-Yay. We still got a few rolls to go, but we've cleared out one huge chunk and we're well into the next one. See how many pages we get out of this. There's a piece there's just one that's coming loose right there. But yeah, Els was a good sport. But you could see on the video where she was like, I'm done with this. When she throws down that tape measure, she's like, ooh, we better wrap this up. Where she was just like, I've had enough shenanigans. Well, it had, the car battery died, and then we couldn't get it started in the park, and the roll was blowing everywhere. You missed the footage of Sandy laying on it, trying to hold it down with her whole body. She was a good sport about the whole thing. I think it was a lot more work than she bargained for. This is also just loose right here. That's all we got to do is glue that down. Yeah, there was footage of her just laying on it, using her full body to keep part of it down. I've never played D&D, although I would have loved to have back in the day. It's always bittersweet. Oh, yeah, there you go. About perm from... Yeah, right? Well, I don't always follow directions well. You play D&D online, but the guys really run it for me. Just talking stats and blah, blah, blah. That's awesome, Christine. Elsa's family, her daughter and, that household, they play, but they've been playing for years. They're very experienced players. So I would not want to join in a game with I have, I'm the kind of person that's very self-conscious. So if I don't know something, I want to watch for a while, and I'm not a good joiner. I love the idea of it. Growing up, we moved around so much. I never found enough people that were into it where I could join a game. I love the idea, but at this point in my life, unless somebody were willing to just, not make me feel stupid about it, it's probably not going to happen. But for some people, I can see, it's a fantasy game, and it takes hours and hours and hours. Some of those campaigns go on for years even. You're making a commitment, You're okay with old people games. That's funny. Me too. You play WoW now? I played Guild Wars for a long time. Not many people play it anymore. And I can't play it now until I get a new computer. I've never played World of Warcraft. Shoot the elves. Carla, and somebody wants you to play Vampire the Gap. Yeah. I imagine it's along the same lines as Magic, that you do have to invest in cards. But it can be fun, as long as you don't get carried away. It can be fun to build decks, and I enjoy building decks a lot. And I collected some cards before I just gave it up altogether. Which way is the top? This way is the top. We've got some upside down things on that page. Okay. We're getting near the end. I like, Clue and Parcheesi and Sorry. I like the old school games. Jenga can be fun as long as it's not too... I love Yahtzee, but we can't play it here because of Elle's migraines. There's just no quiet way to play Yahtzee. Even if you get the padded cups, still makes a lot of noise. Okay. Corn on the cob. Summer's a-coming. That's a late summer, early fall thing. Fresh corn on the cob. Okay. Let's see what we got going on over here. Got a loose piece down here. I think the rest of it is okay. Oh, right there. Some of it came loose while we were watching it blow in the wind. There's our spider. Lawn Yahtzee. Oh my gosh. You shave a big 5-gallon bucket. That could be fun though. Ooh, strawberry season. Nice. I hate it when that happens. I have several now. I've started recollecting. And lovely Miss Rebecca gifted me one a while back, which is awesome. I love using it. I have gotten a lot of use out of it. It was a lovely gift. I think it was for my birthday last year or the year before. I'm just checking them edges. I like this piece a lot. Love it. I'm easy to please, I guess. Let's don't do that. Don't start making weird. You're going to fold whether you want to fold or not. Here we go. This is one of our last. This is at the end of the collage roll. One of the last few days we worked on it. A little bit of looseness right there. Nope. Don't fall down. Dachshund. Here's our little green dachshund. The rest of that feels okay. Something about life's little rewards over there. Looks like maybe 2 or 3 more. Let me just double check back in there, make sure nothing fell down the rabbit hole. And then we've got a couple partial pieces down here. Partials. That's 3 partial pieces down there. Okay. Yeah, these are from the end. Just a little bit right there. Yeah. I would love to play lawn Yahtzee. Sounds fun. Obviously, you need the lawn for that. Surprise hives, no good. Oh, strawberries. That's Janice is allergic. Oh dear. Oh. Well, that would be no fun. Yeah. That's no good. No bueno. It's like elves and her shellfish and her mushrooms. Straight to the ER. Because you can have mushrooms and stuff and not even be able to tell. That's why I don't even bring them into the house, honestly. Better safe than sorry. So I'll have video sales, small ones. They'll be, you know, like I was doing before. And then on Friday, we will have a little sale. Like I said, some items as low as 10 cents. Some of the, some where I have not very much of something. Like, and I'll be offering 10 packs of doilies and coffee filters instead of 20 for $1, instead of $2 for, you know, or 50 cents, 10 packs for 50 cents instead of 20 for $1 for people who might not want as much, for some colors that I have a lot of. Then I have some by the piece items, some envelopes, I think some doilies, some coffee filters, and a few other things where I have just weird amounts of things. We'll offer them at 10 cents a piece on Friday. But the sale this week that's going to be in videos starting on Monday is part of it is truly a de-stash. And some of it is just extras that I have found laying around in the last batch of cleanup. So it's helping me get it cleaned out or into the store, depending on how the sale goes, and then allows me to get that table out there cleared off so I can finish and get my fall dyeing started, my late summer and fall dyeing going. Because I have some fun things. I've got the dye. I need to buy a couple of things of dye, but for the most part, I have the dye I want to make the things I want that I think you guys will enjoy. So here's hoping, right? We're even still going to come out with a couple of new colors. All right, so this is a shorty piece. We're just going to fold it over. And we'll use it as a short piece in something, right? Now this is like just a page. So we might cut this in half and use it in the current glue book. We'll see. So I'm going to set that aside because I like the page, but it won't work like as a page like that. We'd fold the face in half and not really be able to see it. So I think I'm going to work it into the new glue book. We'll have to tear some edges off it, but that's not awful. But I don't want to let it go to waste because it's some fun images. And then we have this little piece right here, which is the cow, one of the cow faces. But this is super thick. So I think I might keep this for Scraps of Joy, where those two cows are smooching, and put that on a Scraps of Joy page. But I want to fix the back, fix it on the back here so that I can tell what it is and not just keep passing over it over and over again. So we'll just add a piece back here. I probably should have used real glue on this. We'll just smoosh on a lot of glue stick. There we go. See, you got the two cows smooching and they're just too cute. I could totally see that in Scraps of Joy. Okay. So I believe that is everything. Let me have a look around on the floor. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Poke around in the closet because that's where I threw all the things. No, it looks like I got it all. I don't think anything fell back behind there, so. There's our pile. And then we're going to count how many pages we got. And I won't make you guys watch me trim them up. I'll do that off camera. I will not subject you to the evilness that is. But let's figure out how many pages we got. So we'll set this one aside because it's a shorty. And we have one other shorty in there. Like short width-wise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to flip them every 10. Because this is going to go out to the press and the garage. Probably not tonight because I've got some paper in there right now. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's our shorty. 17, 18, 19. That's 20. 20 so far. Approximately 12 inches by 18 inches. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, guys, 40 pieces. 41 and 2 shorties. Total of 43 pages. Hold the phone. Right now, I'm going to get me some super big clippies. Some big boys. Hopefully I have 2 of these floating around. I don't know if this is even going to be big enough. Hold the phone. Okay, 1. I don't know. The other one's made. Oh, there's one more down there. One more big mamma jamma. Just until we're not going to be able to get all the pieces. We'll get most of them. Okay, that should keep it from like just falling over repeatedly. You can see I'm getting ready for sale. All my little doodahs are out in the garage on bits of bundles of paper. Okay, what do you guys think? That was something else. Let's see. Sadly, it's wrong to throw punch them. Oh dear. Okay. Knock on wood, I haven't been bit, stung since my wound. Well, there you go. Keeping our fingers crossed and you and our prayers. We don't need Carla blowing up and going to the emergency room. One blessing for the northern climate for sure. Well, I bet Texas is full of bugs. 3 ER visits with smug ER doctors. EpiPens are expensive and they expire. Sadly, it's wrong to throat punch them. I'm with you guys. Doctors can be so condescending. I made a point that I would take a crap load of Benadryl and use Benadryl cream, which is a huge no-no. Oh dear, Carla. Yeah, especially living by yourself. Janice got that right. Yeah, friends and family up your butt. Well, I guess that's better than the alternative, dead on the floor. Aw, Janice, I don't like hearing, or Carla, I don't like hearing that. Haven't spoken to my brother or sister since that's a haul right there. Okay, so we got 43 pieces, 41 of the larger size, 2 smaller ones, and a couple of extras over there in the corner. So I think that's awesome. Let's see what we're doing for time here. Okay, 1 hour and 40 minutes. How are you guys feeling? I haven't spoken to my extended family in more than 20 years. I never knew them that well because we moved around so much. And I haven't spoken to my mom. I talked to her a little bit, maybe 15 or so years ago. It's been a while. But that it's me. You know, I burned some bridges early in my life. And I understand that, you know, sometimes you do that and there's no going back. So, no sense in whining and crying about a situation I made for myself. But I feel you on that. A lot of my extended family, I just never knew them very well. And so, you know, I don't want to reach out to people who might be giant assholes. There's probably a reason my parents cut them off, you know. Okay. Did anybody have any questions about what we're doing on Sunday? Did I give you a good enough list of things you need if you are not part of, if you did not buy the Boo Crew box, but you still want to make the envelope journal? Three ladies in a park trying to hold down some paper. So now we've got to decide what we want to, do we want to make glue books out of just this? Do we want to add these 2 glue books that we make? I think it could be fun to make at least 1 glue book out of a bunch of these. I'm not going to make you watch me trim them up though, because that's even more boring than watching me fold them in half and put them in a pile. But we got a pretty good amount, and that'll just hold it together till I can get it out into the, but you can see this is the longest piece, and the shortest pieces are down in there, right there. So we did have some very fluid lengthwise in there. You brought your Boo Crew box. Cool. Home. So we're doing it on Sunday. Building the thing. And Janie's out there rolling down the highway. How you doing, Miss Janie? Working hard, I see. They're always on the road doing stuff. And then they get to go home and enjoy it for a few days, and then they're off again. They work very hard, her and her hub. Good people. You took notes? Cool. And I will have the event up tomorrow. It'll probably be up later tonight, but so you should be able to see the event if you go to my channel, and it'll have the original video in there. I'm pretty much making it the way she made it, but with fabric. So if anybody wants to get ahead, you can do it that way. I just didn't think to get it into this video, and it's pretty far down in my playlist at this point. So I'll look for that tonight, and I'll get the event in. So, and I will also post the link into the Facebook group for anybody who wants to play along. I'm happy to have anybody come and join, whether you bought the Boo Crew box or not. It's not just for, you know, people who buy my shit. I love it when you buy my stuff because I feel like I have some awesome stuff sometimes, but it's not necessary. You can make it out of any envelope you have. So, just came into New Mexico. On your way out or on your way in, hun? They are the backbone. Yeah, they really are. They keep stuff coming our way. All the things we need, coast to coast. And they really go all over the place. You couldn't want for nicer people. And this is the original rollatini roll. So at some point, I can start another one right off this one right here. We'll just keep that up in the safe place. And we will enjoy. Out to California? Well, that's not too bad. Yes, definitely safe trips. Stay safe out on those roads out there. So what should we do? What did I say we were doing? We're just shy of 2 hours. I don't know what else to do now. Do you guys, anything in particular you'd like to see me do, or are you ready to call it a night? What would you like to do? This is your Fri-Yay. What would you ladies like to see, or would talk about, or what? I'm game for all manner of things. But I also know a lot of you are tired, so if you're ready to sack out, I can feel that too. Here, what do I got going on? I do have many pieces of paper all over the place. A creepy, oh, Carla, how could you? All right, a creepy ATC card. Let me, give me a minute to get my creepy stuff out. It's just over here. I just gotta pull the box out. Give me a second. ATC card. Good Lord. They're so small. Small, S-M-O-L, small. All right. I need you to come out of there. And don't take that with you. You do not need to be causing craft-a-lanches all over the place. Do. Carla's just trying to get me to participate in the 12 of 23. I'm like, nope. Okie dokie. Almost there. I keep everything neatly stacked so I can just move stacks around. Some of the stacks go together. They're themed, This is like this thing. And I'm going to move these off of here so I don't squish anything. Whee! Okay, I think this is, let me verify, but I think this is the creepy one. Yep, creepy bin. Is that the serial killer bin? Hold the phone, please. Oof. Which one are you? And which one are you? Oh, that's the creepy bin right there. Down the creepy bin. Creepy bin. Serial killer bin. Back on the floor. Okay. Do. Let's get rid of some scraps off the side here. Make some scraps fixing that. Dusty. Okay. So, lid. Okay, we've got a whole pile of stuff to work with right here. Whoa. We're going to want small images. Small. I think everything below that is big. All right. You go on the floor. Woohoo! All right. goodness. Then Detroit, then Pittsburgh. Whoa, you're going all over. You're thankful that you have internet. You had none at work today. That sucks. Well, I can be combining jelly prints with the roll out pages. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean, will I take the rollout pages out of the book that they're in? Is that what you mean? Like unbind them from that? Made some ATCs? Well, I don't know. We'll see if she says. I'm not sure if I would combine them, into a journal. Okay, yeah. It is possible that I would do that, yes. I have some ideas for some smaller type journals with some of the pages, but yeah, I probably will, because I'm going to have multiple rollout books, and I don't know how many I need to keep just for me. And with the combinations of colors I use, I don't know how many people would be interested in buying a rollout book. So I'm just looking for something to make the ATCs with. I'm looking for a semi-lightweight cardstocky thing. That should be able to cut out my cutter. Okay. And then for my cutter. ATCs are 3x5s, I think. I haven't done an ATC in forever, ever, ever. Two and a half by 3.5. Okay. 6,000 miles weekly. Oof. Yes. There will be journals made out of the rollout pages and the jelly prints of several different kinds. I have ideas. I've talked a little bit to Carla about it. 2.5 by 3.5. 2.5. Okay. 2.5. I should have asked ahead of time. Did you mean making a master board and cutting it into ATCs? Or did you mean working on individual ATCs? Because that could go either way. Three and a half. Because I do have other pieces of cardboard. Okay, this one's not going to get used because that corner is all jacked up. Well, let's put that on this end, though. Why waste a whole card when we could just use that as the bad end? Indeed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. It is 7:15. Check in with your brain if you know where it is. Do you need to take meds? Is it time to... walk your dog? What you need to do? Just check in. I have no idea where my brain is. It's just out wandering about. Right, they're all the same size. That's a pretty good start. Let's see. Upster was OTR, but he did heavy haul, so less miles a week. He played with the big boy toys, John Deere Caterpillar crane parts. We're trying to get mail from West Coast to East Coast. There you go. Wind turbine blades. Wow. It's 7:15 and I haven't seen it for a while. Oh, Sandy. Has your brain gone walkabout? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I suppose I could have just started with these on 1. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Let's see. What do we want to do here? How do we want to start this process? We're probably going to need the paper trimmer more, so I will keep it handy. I'm not very good with ATCs. Let's see if we can find something we want to use as a background and then work from there. Maybe a little bit of that could be fun. Just looking for things to put in the background right now. Okay. So let's start with a few of these things. We're just going to glue some stuff to the back of these and see how it comes out. And then we'll work from there. Oh, let's see. We got 4 and we have 3 pieces of paper. Maybe we need a 4th piece. Let's see. What else do we have that we can use as a background? Here, let's put a little bit of maybe one of these on there. Let's figure out what we can actually use. Oh, I like that guy right there. This spot right here. That could be fun. Okay, so we'll use some of that. That came from Carla too. Okay, so we're just going to get some glue. Carla brain. What's that? Uh-oh. Marty. Hey, Marty, how you doing? I didn't see you come in. Welcome. And Carla seeing Marty for the 2nd time in one day. Shenanigans, I say. Are you guys following each other around? Sometimes you run into the best people over and over again. It can be exciting. Okay, so scooch that over onto the... You know me, I'm always tending to take the easy way out. As minimal trimming as I can get. I'm trying to think of the last time I actually made an ATC. It's for a swap that turned out horrible. Not necessarily my end of it, but I signed up for the swap because it was a Halloween themed swap. And I thought I did a pretty good job. Turns out my partner was the leader of the group. It's like the group owner. And I think it was because it was one of my first swaps with that group. But she sent me what amounted to a piece of cardstock with a foam piece glued in the middle. And I had really worked hard on mine. And I'm not saying I'm the world's best artist, but I think she assumed I was going to do a crap job. So she sent me a crap swap. And that was the last one I ever made. Because I don't really have any use for them in my... Like, I don't keep a box full or anything like that. See, we can still use the bigger picture. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too sensitive. But I felt like she phoned it in, you know. Like it was something she had in reserve that she didn't even bother to finish up because she thought I would do a shitty job. It was Halloween themed. I don't know how she couldn't think I was gonna. And that was a couple of years ago, I think, when that happened. Just trimming up some edges here. So just an interesting background. Probably, if you didn't know what it came off of, you probably couldn't even tell at this point. Let's see. All right, so where do we want this? I think we want to do it right along here. I think it's the most interesting thing we can do. You stalked Els. Well, she likes being stalked, so that's okay. You know, online. She does not like, you know, nobody, I think, really wants to be stalkered in real life. Some creepy shit. Even though we pretend to do it in our serial killer journal. It's fun as a mind exercise, not as a having it happen to you kind of thing. It's scary when it happens to you for real. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. There is some fun ATC art out there, though. I have seen some amazing things in art, even in inchies and twinchies, you know. You have to be patient, though, if you want to work on the small scale. That's all I'm saying. It's good if you got a little bit of patience in you. Okay, we'll let that sit for a second. We'll let you check out the... I try to do something artful if I swap. Not that it's any good. But your hands have to do something, right? You have a notebook full of ATC backgrounds. Nice. I suck at the... That's why, kind of why I started Scraps of Joy. If you'll remember the first one, the first Scraps of Joy was very small. I can pull it down if you guys want. I'm still playing catch up. You guys know I'm almost up to my year anniversary on that. And I think that's when I'm going to start. I'm looking at Patreon. Not Patreon. Well, I will put the videos on Patreon because I already promised I would do that. But doing some stuff with Scraps of Joy on Ko-Fi or Coffee, whatever it's called. I like to call it Ko-Fi, but I'm pretty sure it's Coffee. Coffee. Okay, so there are 2 more backgrounds. Those are kind of ephemeral, haunted sort of doodahs. Okay. 2. Oh, and I just threw that one on the floor. Away it went. Okay, so for this blue one, I think I want one right here and maybe one over. So let's just, I think we'll fold it right about there. And then I'll put that piece into Scraps of Joy to be used, because now it won't be really any good for any other creepy thing. Yeah, so we're gonna even take that little bit off right there. Trying to position it nicely. Even though you probably won't be able to see it in the end, we'll know it's there. We shall know. And I'm not worried about inking the edges right now because we can ink those edges at the very end when it is all done. Okay, so we're just going to glue these on here. My puppy Easter took 6 minutes tops with the rack napkin that I had no clue what to do with. Nice! You try to, yeah, simple and clean. A focal point, maybe a word. You can do, they can be kind of inspirational too. You know, you could put a nice focal point on there, or, you know, an image of a scene. If you want to keep, and a little, you know, uplifting, you know, like inspire, believe. You are enough, you know, I am enough. You can do a lot of aspirational, inspirational kind of stuff. At this scale, it looks nice. And then I've seen people do like just those, you know, you center it in the page, kind of only paper collage. Same kind of thing. Usually they'll put a word or a phrase on it. It's also a form of glue booking collage, where there's just like strips of paper and stickers and stuff. There's a lot of ASMR videos that have that. Let's see how these come out. I'm probably cutting them a little prematurely, but I want to sit here and futz with them forever. I'm just cutting down any extra little. Okay. Then we'll take that off the scissors because we don't want gluey scissors. Okay, so there is the background there. So this is what we're working with so far. We need to make 2 more because I made 8. Usually you make them in sets even if they don't matchy-matchy. I really do want to use this right here. So I'm just gonna, and we'll keep the scraps for Scraps of Joy. I love these pieces that Carla sent. They are made of awesome. I'm going to get that witch on something for sure, you know. And I think the other scene I want, and we may just go with that as the whole thing, is this witch up here by the moon. So and I'm going to start by just loosely cutting around the fold lines I made. And then I'm just going to glue it to the back here and we'll trim around that. That way we'll have whatever's left to go into the scraps of joy. And we'll have our focal image just the way, because you know, I love Halloween. All things Halloween. With the possible exception of having to eat candy corn. I do not want to eat candy corn. But I like candy corn fabric and candy corn, you know, stupid stuffed candy corns and stuff like that. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Anybody there? Because it said I was buffering. Looks like we're okay now. Oh. I hope you guys can hear me now. I hate to have to end this live after we just got started on these ATCs. Yay! Okay. Well, that's a good sign. It's the usual Friday night shenanigans, right? Just doing a little trimming here. There's our pumpkin head of the cauldron. And then we've got these pieces left over, a couple of tombstones and some pumpkins that we will save for the scraps of joy. And then I think I want this piece over here because that's not going to fit all the way on there. She's not going to fit all the way on there, and I really want the whole witch if I'm going to do it. So we'll go from here. We'll take her. And then we'll save the rest of that for something else. And I have a second one, so no worries. I can use that on something, you know. You know? Okay, so I want to glue it on this side over here. Uh-oh. Did we do a bad thing? We made it a little shorter. Okay. So we can fix that. We will just take a strip right here and glue it at the top. We're going to make this work one way or the other. There we go. And then that was my fault. I cut it a little short. Gluing it to this side over here. Just glue it on cardboard. Sippity doodle. Oh, you know what? I didn't ask Alice if she was coming on tonight. I better send her a message. I did not even think to ask. What kind of a friend am I? I'm going for my life. Bye. There. Not perfect, but you know, these things happen. And we've got probably not really enough to keep because it's not clear what that is. It's just the night sky that's a little blurry. So there we go. So we've got our, well, now these two we may just take as is and put words on. Ready made. If you've got a focal image already, we could put on a little bling or something. This is, yeah, we're just going for creepy, not serial killery. We're skipping the serial killer for the next two Fri-Yays. Creepy framing with pumpkins. That sums it up, doesn't it? So is Janet Nash the British lady that talks like Mrs. Doubtfire? Is that who I'm thinking of, or is it somebody else? Okay. So what do we want to do here? So far, I think we're doing pretty good. We got kind of ephemeral backgrounds. Now I'm looking for some small focal images. So let me see what I got. Ooh, that would have been a fun background. I'm thinking about doing something like that. Or it'll go on the, you know, we'll cut it a little bit smaller than the card and add it. Let's see. So that's a possibility. Here's a big spider. It's too big for the card, though. We'd have to cut some of the legs off. It's still a possibility, though, because we don't need technically the full thing. Get a little bat. Maybe a Grim Reaper thing. A couple of zombies. There's more zombies. Let's just see what happens here. What we're finding. Okay. So we've got some stuff here. Let's move these over here. Let's see. She's the one with the black dog, Freddy. She doesn't sell me. Okay. Janet. Janet Nash. I'm going to have to write it down. I think I may have watched her for a little while, and maybe it just fell off my radar. Or if I didn't get notifications, you know, it does happen. I'll recheck her out. Or if she comes on from an opposite time for me and her lives are really long. Sometimes I don't go back and watch super, super long lives. And I don't like the trend that people are not putting the chat replay. I don't dig that. And so sometimes I don't go back and rewatch ones where they don't have the chat replay. I'm just looking through some images here still to find too big. Too big. Like, I think there's whole digital sets out there that are geared towards small stuff, building ATCs, you know. I'm going to sneeze probably. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh my. That was a very big sneezy. Oh, and then it made me yawn. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Endless tunnels. He looks like he might murder you. Murdery, stabby stuff. I always take out more than I need. I like to have things to work with that are, you know, off the beaten path. There's a tornado. Some buggies. Oh, that was a hell of a sneeze. Rattled my brain. Ooh, there's a baby face. I think that's probably too big to get on there, but we'll have a look at it. That's kind of creepy to me. I know it's not. Statues. I find some statues very creepy. Okay, so let's start with those. Oh, thank you very much. Jane never stays for the whole time because she leaves work. She and Violet Johnson stream together, mostly Violet mods for Fran, and she gel prints. I'll have a watch. I may be thinking of Janet Young as the Mrs. Doubtfire sounding lady. And there, it's not her lack of talent. She's a super nice lady. I just have a hard time taking that seriously because she sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire. And I don't mean that in, like, I'm not trying to be bitchy or anything. I just, for whatever reason, I have a hard time listening to that. And I've watched her live. She is beyond nice, you know. And she does some interesting things with dyes and stuff, but I just... I'll have a look, though. Can't hurt to try. So I'm just gonna, let's fold this all the way across. Start there. That'll give me a starting point. And I can glue that down and then hope for the best. Good ahead. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to cut here. Bigger than I need. We'll just... You don't need anything really beyond her lips. And I think we're looking here. Right, so let's see. We want it a little bit matted. So we're going to have to... She went a little bit beyond that. Let's try right there. I do remember a dog named Freddy, though, on something I watched. Now that I'm thinking about it. I think I like the more contrast on this one. So that could be a thing. All right. Where'd the rest of our pictures go? Oh, they're under here. Oh. Jan's always gone when Janet asks for giveaway numbers. Always put in 9 3/4 for. Oh, that's sweet. Janet Nash is British. Okay, I'll have a look. I just cannot place it in my head for some reason. But, you know, it'll be like trying something new all over again, right? Okay. So here we would only get part of a baby face. So I think we don't want to use that. We could trim that down some. Now on her, we could put some bling or something, you know. We can add a few things. So we would wind up cutting a little bit of that off. Not too much, though. So let's try a little bit from the back end. So we're not cutting off all of the jugs. And then let's see. Now, because this is cropped top to bottom, we want to make a bigger crop so that we have kind of a matchy-matchy thing. Okay, that's a possibility. Got a tornado, some celestial stuff, some woods, a big bug, a big bug. Let's see. Oh, okay, we lost it right there. Okay. I don't know. I have to think about faces right now, I think. I do like that a lot. Endless doorways. Ooh, and that's nicely framed in that one. What do you think? I think I'll cut a little tiny bit off the side over here. I kind of like that. With a little bit of words. It's just like a long, never-ending hallway. It just keeps going on and on and on. Okay. She creeps me out in a big way. Okay, so we got 2 more. We got a bat. A batopotamus. Zombie. Got a Grim Reaper right there. We still do have the spider that we could do. I think I want to save that for something else. Anybody have a feel about any of this? Kind of like that. Now, do I like it on the darker background? Let's see. I don't have a problem with people being nice or doing normal content. Freddie Mercury, maybe. Possibly. He had a great voice. Oh, what a voice. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. A little bit more on this side. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Did she maybe do some ice dyeing, like maybe in the winter? Like with fabric dyes on some fabric? Do I like it better on this one or this one? I think this one. I think the lighter background. Do I like the bat? We've got a couple of zombies here. But we're not going to get them both on the page, really. I do kind of like this guy's face. I feel like he's got things to tell you that you don't want to hear. He's that old curmudgeonly guy in every horror movie who seems like he's crazy, but he's really warning you about, you know, you're going to die, because you are going to die, because, you know, it's a slasher flick. And most of the scraps of Joy is not creepy. Although I won't lie, sometimes it's creepy in there. But videos will be coming back through Ko-Fi and Patreon. I tried earlier this year and I just could not quite get there. There we go. So one more then. And I like the single focal image instead of building a thing, don't I? I don't think we're getting her on there. I don't really like the bug by himself. I do like the way the bat just, he looks like he's smirking at you, you know? He's smirking. And a lot of people do, you know, find bats creepy. That's all I'm saying. So I probably have seen her. I haven't gotten a notification from her in forever. I did not watch. I've seen some Natasha at Treasure Books. I watch her every now and then. Yeah, Freddie Mercury was phenomenal. I really like her stuff, but she does a lot of same. So I don't watch all the time. But, you know, when there's a title that catches my eye or somebody recommends me a video, I usually go over and watch. She's got great content. She's a lot of digital. She upcycles a lot of stuff. She's in... but she's a lot of fun. She sure is. Love it. And she usually does the 100-day project every year, which I do usually enjoy watching. And I just didn't this year. I haven't really followed anybody doing the 100-day project. I haven't even watched that much Dee Dee Willingham, and I usually like her stuff. You know? She is quite awesome. I haven't seen that much Ann Lair. I've heard she's got good content. I love Devin Rex's jelly printing stuff. I don't get to watch it as often as I would like. Because, you know, I'm also a binge watcher of TV shows. I don't know what happened. I just suddenly stopped, you know. I don't know if maybe I get notifications now. I see them come through. But I'm usually heading off to bed when she's coming on. Because I stay up super late. I'm a bad, bad girl. And the only ones I don't like are the ones she does with her daughter. And I know it sounds bitchy, but I'm glad she loves her daughter so much. But it's not content for me. But I love her reverse collages. Oof, I'd love to have her stash when I'm all grown up. That woman's she's shown her like tubs of stuff and whatnot. And all those coloring books. And I wish I had like a pinky nail's worth of her talent. That woman's got some stuff going on. Beer. I try not to, you know, I'm trying to put some joy out into the world because I tend to be a little bit of a negative Nelly. And I struggle with depression. But I do appreciate sarcasm and snark in other people. I do. And I have my moments. Okay, so Els is going live tonight. I just got the notification. So I know these aren't terribly exciting, guys, but this is how it's going to come out. And would you like me to wait and finish them next Friday? Or on another day? Like, we could work on them on Tuesday for sure before we harvest. So would you like me to wait and finish these up with you guys? Because I am happy to do that. Devin Rex has a nice voice. She's a good sharer of information, as is Dee Dee. Most of the ladies are really good at sharing. So I will finish these on Tuesday. I will stack them up and clip them together. I will find some bling and some other, you know, some words and some other fun stuff. So yeah, it's salty language. I like it. I don't get into Watcher very much though. I got to be honest. Let me grab you a link. I know most of you know where to go. Most of you probably already got the notification. Just waiting for it to come up over here. You know, my computer's difficult. Let's get you guys a link over there. And I will be on Sunday at about 3:15. And we will work on that envelope journal. And I will have at least one more, if not two more prototypes ready for you guys to see with the big paper and so with what it looks like with colored paper. I hope you guys will come and play along. I'd hate to think you guys spending the money on the kit and then not making the thing. And I know the kit wasn't super expensive or anything, but I love it when you guys play along. So that's Els over with a Z. Els over at Be Ma's Crafty Corner. Her Late Night Lunatics is sometimes she does craft, but it's mostly a discussion forum. You can come and hang out and spend a little time. So however you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Until I see you in a box somewhere or in a Oh, hold on. She's starting at 8:15, so you do get a 15-minute break. So if you want to go potty, grab some snacks, liquor up, whatever you want to do. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses. Bye, 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 bye. And that is the end for tonight, ladies. Good night to all of you. Carla and Janice and Marty and Roseanne and Janie, who's driving down the road. Let's see. Christine, who's working and lurking. Leslie, who's working and lurking. To all of our lurkers out there who are working and lurking or just watching. Anybody who has recommendations for channels I should check out, feel free to comment in the down box. I'm always looking for fun stuff to watch. Again, bright blessings, hugs, and hisses. That is the end. Good night, Roseanne.